Wow. Hi, everybody. Um, my name is Sabrina Camacho. Welcome to the channel. I'm a wedding officiant, celebrant. I am ordained and licensed in all 50 states. But I currently live and work in the San Antonio, Texas, and surrounding areas, including the Hill Country. Go all the way down to Corpus as well. Um, I'm decided to make these YouTube videos, and of course, there are several before this one. But we're answering a lot of the questions that I'm getting. So if you have a question, please put it in the comment section down below. Uh, and know that I read all of your comments. And you may see your question in some future video. Well, today I want to talk about what does a wedding officiant do? What is a wedding officiant? That's a lot of people don't want to feel, foolish or whatever. I don't know. And when they say, "Oh, what do you do?" I'm a wedding officiant. They go, "Oh, okay, cool." Yeah, they don't have any idea what I'm talking about. So, choosing a wedding officiant. First of all, let's talk about what they do. All right. A wedding officiant is a very important decision. You don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Like I said, they just don't know what it is. But their main job is to lead the ceremony portion of the wedding, right? But there's few other tasks that we do both before and after as well. So make sure that you meet with your proposed officiant, maybe two or three different officiants, especially if their style doesn't align with yours. Okay. So you're going to ask them mostly about any requirements that they may have, discuss the general flow of how the ceremony will go, share any preferences that you have for your ceremony, and make sure that they're going to be okay with working with those preferences. Okay. If your officiant is conducting a religious ceremony, there may be some required steps that you're going to have to take before the wedding day. Like you may have to go through premarital counseling if you're getting married in a church and things like that. It's a good idea to go through premarital counseling, even if you're not getting married in a church. Um, and I'm not a certified therapist, but I'd be glad to, sit down with a couple and go through any sticky points, maybe address some of the things that they may not have discussed in their relationship up to the current point. So it's not going to be like I said, I'm not a licensed therapist, but I can conduct you know, a reasonable facsimile of premarital counseling. Okay, but it's not the one that's going to be required by the state for the free marriage license or free at lower cost. I think it's $60 off your marriage license cost in the state of Texas if you have gone through premarital counseling. Now, when you're discussing your preferences with your officiant, you want to know, uh, some things ahead of time. Like you want to make sure your officiant's aware if you're going to be writing your own personal vows, for instance. Are they okay with that, right? How would you like to be pronounced at the end? There are options here too. Are there any steps in the actual ceremony itself that you would like to modify to fit your values and your vibe, right? And what would you like the officiant to wear? You want them to, uh, typically I wear all black so that I'm kind of, as unobtrusive as possible in the photos and things like that are being taken. Though I do want photos of us together at the altar. But I'm trying to be as, in the background as possible. Okay. Now, when it comes to planning that wedding, of course, you have a lot of different, um, what's the word I'm like, professionals that you need to hire. You're going to talk about a photographer, your DJ, your florist, your cake decorator, your caterer, videographer, and all of that. And of course, the officiant, it apparently is like Oh yeah, oh yeah, we need an officiant too. We're like the last thing. We're the only person that actually has to be at the ceremony with you, but we're always the last person that everybody thinks of, right? So again, if you're a member of a church or a synagogue or whatever, the religious leader can and usually will be conducting your services. But if you don't want to get married in that church, temple, or mosque or whatever, you're going to have to hire a professional officiant. So here's the thing, please do not wait too long to do that. A professional officiant, a good professional officiant, can help you with every single detail of your ceremony. Everything from the processional to the recessional and everything in between. Okay. Um, did you know that you can make those decisions about the wordings of your ceremony? I mean, there are, just a couple of things that have to be included by law to make this ceremony official, but those things can be varied. The wording of them can be varied. Okay. So make sure that your officiant's vision, the ones that you're interviewing, their vision aligns with yours. Um, they should be able to engage those wedding guests and keep them something to be enjoyed rather than to be endured. And that's why when I'm leaving a ceremony, so many times I am leaving a ceremony and there are people that are just getting there because they were like, okay, the wedding starts at 4, so we'll show up at about 4:30, 4:45, make sure we miss that boring part of the ceremony, and we're just here for the free food drink. I'm sorry, I said it, and I meant it. But anyway, that's the way it is. Um, and so make sure that they know, hey, if you talk to guests beforehand, hey, this is going to be an entertaining wedding. You don't want to miss this. This is going to be awesome, right? Um, so also another reason to book them as early as possible is that we can only do one, maybe two, if they're like extreme times of day, like one's in the morning, like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, and the other one's at 6 o'clock in the evening. Especially in a big city, I mean, it may be in a smaller town, not so much, but here in a big city, it can, I might have a wedding up in the hill country and then a wedding down in Corpus, and that's a 4 hour drive in between those two locations. Um, yeah, so it can take some time. So we want to make sure, and of course, if somebody contacts me and says, hey, I need you. And I'm like, okay, well, I've got a wedding at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. What time is yours? 6 o'clock. Okay, well, what's the location? And if they're like in the same area, I'm like, hey, I might be able to do that. Let's talk about what's up with that, right? But for the most part, one a day is what I limit myself to. And no more than three a week because I'm writing a love story for each of these ceremonies, and that does take some time. I'm not up. Ooh, let's get it down on paper, quick. So it does take some time to do that as well. And so I'm not my I'm sorry, I um might not be able to do more than three weddings a week as well. Okay. Also, yeah, we gotta have those meetings and we gotta iron out all those details and all of that kind of thing. I want this personalized. I'm not gonna be that, hey, do you? Hey, do you? All right, let's pronounce you, right? Unless you're doing an elopement. I don't do love story weddings for an elopement. And that's why there's so much less money than my regular wedding. But just saying, there's so much less work there. Okay, so interview and book that officiant early, at least 6 to 11 months in advance. I have people that are booking me for next year already. Here it is. It's March right now today, March 9th. And I have people that are booking me for 2026 already. So, yeah, definitely you need to get that officiant booked early if you want the one that you want. Okay, the better ones. Personally, I craft those fun, entertaining love story ceremonies for my couples. Of course, my contact information is everywhere. I'm in all the socials. Well, not all of them. But also Instagram, Facebook, X, I think so. Got my website, of course, and all of that kind of thing. You can get to me through the website as well. Now, another thing, my fees are what they are for 2025, and I'm planning on raising them at least by 2026. Anybody that books me before a certain date is going to receive those 2025 fees. I mean, that's just SOP, right? Standard operating procedure. But officiants can seem like they're expensive, even though we're the cheapest thing that you're going to do for your entire wedding. We're the cheapest professional that you're going to hire, the least cost here. But still, people go, why are you so expensive? Well, dang, we have a lot of preparation time here, right? You're not only paying for that 20 or 30-minute ceremony, right? But you're paying for my time. You're paying for, um, all of the meetings that we had. Not all of the meetings. I mean, I only require a couple of meetings, but um, I mean, dang, it's like I said, I can't even write more. I can't do more than 2 or 3 weddings in a week because of the preparation time, the writing and tweaking and all of that kind of thing. Consultations, writing those vows again, traveling to the venue, attending rehearsals, and all of that kind of stuff. While doing the legal stuff with the marriage ceremony, of course, which is going to depend, of course, on the state that you're um, licensed in. My experience you're paying for, my personality, my yeah, I mean, you're paying. You get what you pay for. If you're going to pay $200 for a wedding officiant, you're going to get a snooze fest of an officiant, and that's fine if that's okay with you. But if you want your guests to be entertained, you want this to be part of the guest experience. You want them to hear your love story, written artistically and creatively. Then yeah, you're gonna pay for that. Okay. So again, that contributing to the cost is that customization, the pre-ceremony meetings, the travel and logistics of this thing, legal requirements that I've got to do, my experience you're definitely paying for. Okay. Now, can you save money? Yes, you can. Now you can also get those cheaper wedding officiants. That's fine. But something that we're seeing that's kind of a disturbing trend, and it has happened to me. I've had couples that go, well, we decided that we're going to go a little bit less money. And so Uncle Bob is going to do our wedding ceremony for us. And I'm like, awesome. Is your Uncle Bob ordained? And they're like, no. But he's going to get online and get it so that he could do our ceremony for us. Okay. Okay. Now, hiring a professional, and of course I am a professional, so this might be a slightly biased, but I'm going to be truthful as possible. It's going to offer some advantages over asking your family member or friend uh, that I'm calling Uncle Bob. That is who I'm going to refer to as Uncle Bob to perform that ceremony. So first of all, legal knowledge. We know the legal requirements for marriage in our state. We make sure that the paperwork is completed properly, filed correctly, and in the right place. All of that kind of thing. We've performed so many ceremonies and know how to handle unexpected situations or awkward moments. I've married over 100 couples in my uh, 5 years, just a little over 5 years. 2019 was when I was over. February 11th of 2019 is when I was ordained. So about right around 100 couples since then. Okay. A professional works to craft your ceremony that reflects your unique relationship, incorporating meaningful stories, rituals, or vows. And we have an access to a variety of different kinds of ceremonies and ideas that fit your style. Whether you might be a traditionalist, you might be more modern, might be quirky. I've had clients say, we want it funny. We want our crowd laughing the whole time. Done. Hey, I'm your girl. So, there you go. Now, my business actually depends on my reliability. So I'm going to show up prepared. I'm going to show up on time. I'm going to be ready to deliver that ceremony. We are going to have an awesome, awesome time. Okay. Now, Uncle Bob might treat this role a little bit more casually than I would. Yeah, he might potentially forget important details or arrive unprepared, heaven forbid, that kind of thing. Professionals are skilled at public speaking and how to engage that audience while keeping the focus on the couple, right? I never, it's not me. I'm not the one getting married. The only time that is right when I walk up to the front and I say, "Hey, everybody, my name is Sabrina, and I have the pleasure of being the officiant for Jane and John here today." And that's the last time you hear me talk about myself. The rest of that ceremony is all about Jane and John. Okay. Whereas Uncle Bob is going to be, well, could be, unintentionally sharing some embarrassing anecdotes or inject humor that falls flat, or whereas a professional keeps that tone appropriate, respectful, maybe lighthearted, but there's a balance that we need to maintain. Okay. We offer those consultations, keeping it professional, guiding you through this entire ceremony process, helping you make those informed decisions. Yeah, so there you go. So those are some things. And also we're going to maintain neutrality. We're not going to we're going to avoid those family dynamics and conflicts that could arise. If there's any personal connection, hey, why did Uncle Bob get to do this? And why did Uncle Bob get to say that? And, that kind of thing. And all that. You have peace of mind with a professional as well, knowing that that professional is in charge. It's going to allow you to focus on enjoying your special day instead of worrying about how this ceremony is going to go. Oh my gosh, Uncle Bob is nervous. He's coming to us for comfort and all of that kind of thing, and we got other stuff to think about, right? So in being in the hands of a professional allows you to put that all aside, and that part is handled, right? I don't need to worry about anything untoward being said, anything embarrassing being said, again, all those things that I've said, inappropriate jokes or stories or whatever, all right? So you're going to ensure that seamless, meaningful, stress-free ceremony situation, leaving everybody with fond memories of your ceremony, including Uncle Bob, who now can relax and be a guest instead of, facing the stress of having to do a ceremony for y'all, okay? Well, hold on, let me take a sip of coffee. So, I hope that you found something of interest to you today, something helpful. It would help me immensely if you would like this video, that little thumbs up thing down there, comment, especially if you have things that you'd like me to address in these things. I'd love to get those ideas for these videos that I can do, addressing different questions that you may have about different aspects of the ceremony, not just the officiating. I've been around weddings for a while now, so I might be able to help with some other aspects too. And if I can, I'll let you know, hey, this is a person that you need to call about that or whatever, okay? Subscribe, of course, by clicking, I think it's going to be right here. Subscribe that. My face. Click on my face. You can subscribe. And then I'm going to put another video up on this side, a link over here, somewhere over here. to check out some more of these wedding hint videos. I'm starting a series, or have started a series on wedding planning. And I try to post those, on a Wednesday, maybe not every Wednesday, but so getting those done. Okay. All right. So here's my little saying. I just love that. Life is not about finding yourself. It is about creating yourself. So create that person that you want to be. Live the life you want to live. It is not easy, but it is so worth it. So until next time, my best to you all. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of your day.